Hey, what's up? I want to talk about tattoo tips and the round liner versus the diamond tip. And with the diamond tip, you can always get better lines, and that's just my opinion, but you have to try it out for yourself. The diamond tip, the needle rides in the cradle of the diamond, and with the round liner, it just wobbles everywhere if you got play in it. And you get these little bumps in your lines, and nobody wants that. Yeah, my recommendation is switch to a diamond, and you'll see a big difference in them. I don't know if you can see this right here. Yeah, it's a diamond tip. And that's what see that cradle? That's what I'm talking about. That'll hold your needle in place, whereas the rounds don't have that cradle to hold your needle in place while you're doing your lines. And this is my personal preference when I'm shading with the mag or color pack. I always prefer to use a shovel, which is this right there. I like that because this will hold the ink better up here on top, that reservoir. So the ink, when the needle pulls it up out of the ink cap, holds it up here and it flows down real nice and smooth. Whereas if you got a different kind of tip, you got a flat reservoir in there and it's squared off, so it'll hold the ink up on top and you gotta be dipping more. So if you use a shovel like this, that ink will just flow right down, and you get better color saturation on that. But yeah, this is just the tips I use and stuff. That's what works for me, but you gotta find what suits your work and go from there. Another thing I want to talk about is some color mixing. Some people use witch hazel and glycerin and everything. I recommend you use this stuff. This is what I use. It's a color mixing solution. That stuff works really good. Works great. It doesn't damage the hue or anything. So if you want to go from let's say a dark blue to a light blue, use this stuff, and you won't it won't damage the hue. Just go to a nice light blue color, or any color you want to use it with. And always remember, you can never have enough white to dip into when you're doing color work. It's just how it is. When I'm doing color work and everything, I always got to have white there. At least if I'm doing a big piece, I'll have at least 5 cups of white there to dip into. And distilled water, all that stuff. So you can mix, blend, shade, and fade, and everything, and out of the cups and everything, and you don't have to be going back and forth. And then while I'm tattooing, I'm using this stuff. This stuff works really good. It soothes the skin and it keeps the redness down and the swelling. So when you're tattooing, the client feels comfortable and you can do more work. Plus it smells really good. It's got a nice fresh scent to it. So yeah, I recommend getting some of this stuff. I'm not pimping this brand or anything. It's just a brand I use. And you try to get the best tattoos you can get. But this is a definite must if you're blending colors. Another thing I want to talk about is after you're done tattooing, you got to wash all your tools and everything, and sterilize them. And you get some parts and tools that aren't autoclavable. So I use this stuff right here. It's 28-day cold sterilant. Right here. It's 2-part. You got to mix that stuff when you order it. Go with the little tank on the side. You got to dump in there and mix it up. And in 10 hours, you got to wash your tools and stuff. Get all the ink and blood off and plasma, and just wash it off. And then get a nice clean container and put that stuff in there. Soak them for 10 hours, and you got sterile tools again. You know, and it's they call it 28 day because it's good for 28 days. You can reuse it for up to 28 days. You know, but I never go that route. I always just sterilize, toss it. So yeah, those are just some things that I want to share with you guys. And another thing I use, some people use A&D ointment. I never do. It's it works for some people, but after you get a tattoo, you got so many holes in your skin. You know, you don't want infection in there, so I recommend using this stuff. Right here, this stuff is really good. Yeah, it's ointment, and you know, some people say you can't use that stuff because some of it contains petroleum. But you can use this stuff; it won't damage your ink or fade it out or anything. You know, don't be putting gobs of it on. Just wash it. Antibacterial soap. You ain't got to go get all fancy and spend $100 on Aftercare products. You know, it's sometimes just like a gimmick. But the best thing to do is get some Bactine, this stuff, and this will heal you and keep you from getting infections in your tattoos. You know, Aftercare bombs. You know, you can pick your own. I personally prefer Redemption. That's some really good organic stuff, and it's USDA approved. It heals up my tattoos, and people who I've recommended it to heals their tattoos in like a week. You know, so that's really good stuff. You know, but for at least 3 days, wash your tattoo with unscented antibacterial soap, your choice of antibacterial soaps, and then apply Bactine, rub it in, dab it off with a clean paper towel, apply this stuff, you know, and then dab it lightly. Make sure it's just a really nice thin layer just to get into the wound, and then bandage it up. You know, and you don't have to be wearing a bandage for 3 or 4 days. You know, it's just standard 10 to 12 hours after you get your tattoo. Then just keep it clean. Don't let nobody touch it. No body fluids on it or anything like that. You know, after you wear the cover for 10 to 12 hours, you can remove it, wash it, dress it up, and then if you want, you can reapply a new pad to it. You know, that's totally up to you though. So you know, that's just some advice right there. And everything on some products to use that are really great. You know, I mean, I see a lot of stuff out there in the market, claims everything, you know, but you don't have to spend all that kind of money just to heal your tattoo up. Basic stuff like this. That's what I recommend. You know, I want to talk about tattoo machines. This tattoo machine right here is a bulldog. This is a monster right here. You know, rebuilt it. Everything. New springs and all that, you know. You don't have to spend a lot of money just to get a tattoo machine. You can just rebuild it, you know, the way you want to. Get the frame you want that you think is cool. Tear it apart, because you know Chinese parts are no good. Put all American-made parts on it, and you have yourself a very powerful machine. And tune it up. You know, I got a video on here that shows you how to tune it up. But what you want to do is when you put your coils on, always make sure on the top right there where the armature bar meets the coil, scrape it. You know, very lightly. Get any kind of debris or anything that's left on there. Scrape it down to it's silver. You know, but don't scrape too much because it's really soft and you don't want your armature bar getting crooked on there. So just get a small file, say for instance a fingernail file, and just file it down nice and smooth, real lightly, just to get any kind of paint, any kind of debris off of there, so you can have good contact with your armature bar. You know, better conductivity, better machine. You know, you gotta do that too, up on top on the saddle, where the spring meets the frame. You know, scrape that off, file it till it's silver, set your springs on there and everything, adjust it. You know, you have a really good machine, good conductivity. That's one tip you gotta always remember. And make sure nothing is grounded on it. If you tear it apart, make sure everything's not grounded to the frame. Make sure everything's good. Everything, and then you know, it's your choice to turn it into a shader or a liner or a color packer. Okay, it's, you know, you can go online and find the springs you want. I personally use Ringmaster. Those are really good springs. Everything in the, so yeah, you can do that and get your machine up and running and stuff. And I do recommend for inks is I recommend Fusion, Intense, Mom's Millennium ink, and Black Buddha. Those are good inks. I've never tried any of the other ones, but I highly recommend those. All the work I've done comes out really bright and vivid with those kind of inks. The Intense, in my opinion, have the best white. That stuff really penetrates the skin really quick and it shows bright. Sometimes it can be a little bit thick, so just put some distilled water in it or some of the mixture I just showed you guys and get it thinned out. It ain't gonna hurt the hue or nothing. Slide right into the skin real nice and smooth. You guys will be really pleased with it. Another thing I want to show you guys is I know everybody, tattoo artists out there, has a little bit of trouble when you're tattooing and you got your light on and that shadow of your hand gets in the way. That bugs me a lot. So I went out and I got one of these grips. See there? So when you're tattooing, tattoo like this. I don't know if you can see, but it actually shows right in front of the grip when you're tattooing. And yeah, it works great for me. And it's got the prong where you gotta take your post part and put it on there, slide it in and tighten it up. I ain't got time for that, so what I went ahead and did is I got a drill, and I drilled these so you can see they slide right on there like that. So you can just slip them onto your clip cord, pop it on your machine, and you're ready to go. Or if you got a rotary, you can just pop these onto your rotary too. Now once you clip the ends off, drill a little hole in there enough for your clip cord to fit through, and you're good to go. Then you got your grip with some 3 lights on the bottom, so it'll light it up when you're tattooing. You don't got to worry about no more shadows getting in your way. You can see your line really perfect. No more guessing at it or anything like that. Okay, so that's another tip I wanted to share with you. So, and it just costs like, this grip alone, this grip by itself, came with the tube, not the tip. It was $19 for it, for this. And I think it's well worth it, to help you tattoo and stuff. So, just some stuff I wanted to share with you guys. I recommend getting Black Buddha shading kit, and it's got from 100% all the way to 10%. I recommend doing that instead of mixing your own, because that way you got the same consistency every time you're going to tattoo. So just you mix a little bit, you run out of it, you got to mix it again, and it's hard to get the same consistency, because I've done that before and it's just a pain. But I recommend getting the Black Buddha set, and it works great. It goes into the skin really smooth, and they say it's non-fading ink, so I believe it, because the tattoos I've done with Black Buddha, they never fade out. It's like Intense, it never fades out. Heals great, black stays black, color stays color you put in there, and Fusion's the same way. Mom's Millennium. That's why I always stick to those inks, because those are the best ones that I've found so far. There's a lot of inks out there, but I'm picky about what I use. I know a lot of people are, and Chinese inks, just stay away from those. Or if you're going to use them for practice. That's all they're good for. Never put them in the skin. I've seen a lot of things about Chinese ink, and it's pretty bad. So stay away from those. You never know what they're going to put in them. I've watched some stuff on Chinese ink, like I just said, and these people will produce the ink, push it onto the market, and then they move their location real quick, so nobody catches them. So nobody knows what you're getting in that ink. So it's best just to stay safe, stay to American brand inks. Kurasumi's good. That's been around for a long time. But all these other inks, I wouldn't recommend using those. Just stay away from them. You don't want to do something you're going to regret. Because ink crystallizes under the skin sometimes. And that's what happens when you get real cheap ink. Put your ink in, And when you think it's healing, you get a bump. You can actually press that ink out. So it's called crystallized ink under your skin, and you don't want none of that to happen to you. You know, and I speak from experience because I try everything on myself before I put it on to anybody I tattoo. So you know, that's just the way I am. You know, I don't put products into somebody else's skin that I haven't tried on myself. You know, so when I do it, I know I do it with confidence that it's going to be beautiful and it's going to heal perfectly. You know, so yeah. Just some ideas for you guys out there, and hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like it, subscribe it. I'm gonna have some more videos coming out too. Been trying to get to one video where I'm gonna build a machine for you guys, piece by piece, and explain the whole thing to you guys, how it's gonna be built and everything, how to tune it perfectly. But I just ain't got the time for that right now. But don't worry, it's coming. You know, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me questions about tattooing, how to start, how to start sketching and everything, your own ideas and everything. I do recommend though, if when you start coming up with your own designs, you know, get yourself a good pencil, a color pencil set. I don't mean nothing by Crayola. I mean some professional, some paper, you know, big sheets of paper. You know, I think I like the extra large sketch pads and stuff and everything. Get the bright white, not the recycled, because you know recycled's good. I mean it's great paper, but you know you really want to see the detail in your work. So you know, get the regular white paper, or if you can find recycled paper that's really bright white too, you know, get it. And watercolors. Using watercolors will teach you how to blend the inks. You know, for example, shading on a rose. You know, you don't go and use, if you want to do like highlights and bring out that color, don't go in with shading ink black. You know, use the red color, dark red. For instance, if your rose is red, use a dark red in where the shadows are going to be, and slowly bring it out into a lighter red. You know, you got to whip it out. You know, and I'll teach you guys how to do that too on the next video coming out. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do all these tricks and stuff and all that. But yeah, tattooing is a really beautiful art form. You know, so practice, practice, and practice till you get it right. You know, like I said, you know, improve your lines, use a diamond tip, try it out, and see what you think about it. Okay, so yeah, any questions you guys got about tattooing and stuff? Go ahead and ask me. Leave them in the comments below, you know, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Okay, so have a great day and keep the ink flowing.